I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Just to be kind of mindful. The first thing that we want to do is, of course, everyone's favorite for this Zoom situation, but go ahead and figure out who else on the call. If you can just kind of take turns, tell us who you are and what organization you're associated with, and we'll get started, I guess, with that. My name's Amanda Ingolinsky, and I work for Be Aware Blount on the ECG contracts.
My name is Carly Crawford, and I also work for Be Aware Blount on the ECG contract.
I'm Angela Ankle, and I'm the finance manager at the Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Angelie.
Hi.
I'm Danielle Woods. I'm chair of Be Aware Blount.
My name is Ashley Krause, and I am with Cherokee Health Systems Recovery Navigator.
And she's on Be Aware Blount.
And Be Aware Blount.
I'm Lisa Atkinson, and I'm with United Way of Blount County.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm Eric Landry. I'm the faith-based coordinator with Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services for Eastern Tennessee.
Who else? There was a Shannon.
Hello, I'm Shannon Dow. I'm the director for the McNabb Center, Blount County Services.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Hi, Shannon. And did Erin leave us?
I want to introduce also Katie Doherty. She is our new services coordinator for the McNabb Center, Blount County Services. So she is taking place for previously Stacy Hillenbrand. So Katie is our new services coordinator. She started today, actually.
Well,
oh, wow. What a great first day for you.
She's been with McNabb for 13 years, but in this position, she's new. Yeah.
Who else do we have?
I see Amy Berger.
Hey, I'm Amy Berger. I am a Blount County 4-H agent. We do a lot of things with 4-H, but one of the programs we do is 4-H Health Rocks, and it's normally a lot of hands-on activities. We still make it pretty interactive, even virtually, but it's designed to prevent drug, tobacco, and alcohol abuse in youth.
Great.
Anybody else?
See Rebecca Lucas.
Hey there, my name's Rebecca Lucas. I'm a professor at Maryville College. I teach in the Division of Education. I work with pre-service teachers, but I'm also the mom of a daughter who is in recovery. She's 22.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Welcome. Al is here. Al, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay.
My name is Al North, and my representation involves Celebrate Recovery Ministry. And the ministry has now gone back in person, both at First United Methodist Church, excuse me, and at Real as well on Tuesday night. And we have two new ones opening up in Blount County, one on Monday night and Thursday night. So we're going to be blessed to have that ministry available for 4 nights. Okay?
Great.
That's
Thank
a lot.
you for letting me share.
Yeah. We haven't heard from Aaron yet.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties there. Again, my name is Aaron Owen. I'm a commercial banker with U.S. Bank, and I am also the treasurer for Be Aware Blount.
Thanks, Aaron. All right.
I think that's everybody. Yeah.
All right. So first, we wanted to talk about Red Ribbon Week, which is happening right now. So every year, Red Ribbon Week it's October 23rd through the 31st. And so basically, it is a national campaign focused on drug prevention and bullying prevention for youth. And so this year, we're doing a lot of virtual stuff, whereas we normally do a lot of stuff in person at the schools. But because of COVID, we wanted to be safe and to respect the schools and how busy they are trying to make alternative plans for everything. And so we have created virtual backgrounds that can be used on Zoom calls or just video calls in general. So as you can see behind us and Danielle, that's one of them. I also put a more fun one for a classroom up on the screen for you to see. And I sent out an email this week with these links. So if you want to use those should be in your inbox, or you can email me directly and I'll send those to you again. We're also doing parent and student pledge cards on our social media. So we just posted this morning, actually, the parent one. So a share is a signature. So feel free to do that if you want to send those out to your social circles. We always appreciate that because you never know who you're going to reach that might be outside of our typical scope. We're also sharing messages from spokespersons every single day. So far we've had Mayor Ed Mitchell,
Lieutenant Ryan Rogers.
Yes, Lieutenant Ryan Rogers with the 5th Judicial Drug Task Force, and Holly Hatcher, who is an officer at Clayton Bradley. And so basically all of our Red Ribbon Week activities are going to be online and on our social media this week. And so we would just really appreciate it if you could like or comment or share. It just really helps us out, and it always spreads the message of prevention in our county.
This is like, and I'll be a little more direct, I guess. This is an ask that we have. We need you to get on our social media pages and really, help us out with this. We need you to comment. We need you to like it. We need you to share. This is our campaign this year. We've recorded some things for Amy with 4-H so that we have some messaging going out in front of students. But otherwise, the majority of what we're able to do really is virtual. So we're relying really, really heavily on our partners to get this message out. So the virtual backgrounds, we have 3 options that you can use for those. We would be more than happy to send those to you. That's an easy thing to do for your Zoom meetings this week. If you have time and you can snap a screenshot of yourself using it, that would be great. We would love to feature that. We would love to feature your agency or your company using any of our marketing. We would love that. So if you can please help us out with that. That's the biggest ask that we have. One of the biggest asks that we have today is just to really use the media resources that we have and that we're trying to push out into the community right now.
By the way, the students love those. That video is really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We felt very unsure because of their age, but we're glad that we were able to do that. And that's just kind of another way that we're able to get our message out into, an audience. So we appreciate you, Amy, working with us on that.
Oh yeah, the middle school students, I tend to underestimate them a lot, but they grasp things well and they get it. So that was a perfect intro to a lot of those substances. Thank you for doing that.
Great. No, thank you for including us.
That's exciting to hear.
Has anyone been able to use any of this yet this week? Any of the backgrounds, or anyone has shared any of our messages or anything that you want to talk about?
I've shared everything, so I just keep pushing it and harassing everyone. And I know Ashley and Aaron have been forwarding it too.
I saw that.
How do you change the background?
So if you go into your settings under Zoom, well, do you have a Mac or do you have a PC?
I'm actually on my phone.
Oh, okay.
You can do it.
I'm not 100% sure on the phone, but I can find out and I can email you the instructions after.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. You should just be able to go into settings and it says virtual background, but I'll get you more specific instructions as soon as we're done.
And we can send out some step-by-steps for anybody that doesn't use that kind of stuff regularly, just to make that easier, but it is pretty quick to do.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
All right, so we had Drug Take Back Day. This was the first Drug Take Back Day that we've had in a year on Saturday. And so between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m., we collected 487.5 pounds of prescription drugs. We gave out 64 medical lockboxes to community members that otherwise we've never had contact with before. So that was awesome. We saw 156 cars. And if you really think about that, so that was 156 cars. Our participation was a little bit lower, but our pounds were still right about what we typically see. So we had less people come, but they were bringing more meds with them. So
They may have been bringing it for other people who can't get out.
Right. So that was still really good. And we're still planning on being able, hopefully, of course, you know, it's difficult to know what's going to happen in 6 months, but we're hoping to still have our take back event in the spring like we usually do. But this was a really successful event for the drug task force and for Be Aware Blount as well. So I just want to remind everyone that our drug drop box is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, still at the Blount County Justice Center. You can still take your meds and drop them off there. If you do decide to drop them off there, one kind of benefit to that is the task force communicates directly with us and reports those numbers to us. And so I know there have been a lot of questions in the past about, you know, what if we drop it off at a pharmacy? They have drug drop boxes or things like that. And you can certainly do that. The one benefit to going to the Blount County Justice Center to use their drop box is the task force does report those numbers to us weekly. So we can include that in our data collection and reporting as well. It's very helpful for us. Okay. So this is very exciting and something very positive, and I'm just really glad we can talk about this today. We have a new grant funding opportunity, and we were actually awarded through the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. Last week, we received notice that Blount County is going to be receiving the 2020 Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Abuse Site-Based Program Award. And if you recall, maybe back in the spring, I believe it was like at least 6 months ago, we asked for ask letters from community members from different sectors, and we were writing in to see if we could get this this particular grant, that was coming forward. Sorry. And so we wrote in, we sent all of our information into the state, and we just found out that we were awarded this grant for Blount County. And so what that means is that our community members, the ones that were involved in the ask letters, but also anybody else too that feels like they could benefit from this, will participate in a planning and implementation project. That project will be for the next 3 years, and we're going to receive $150,000 a year for the next 3 years. So that'll be $450,000 total for Blount County. I know sometimes it's a little confusing because this isn't a prevention grant, right? So we won't be operating this grant through prevention activities, but we're helping facilitate this into some of our recovery resources and groups that can use this money. So it benefits everybody, and we're happy and excited that this is going to be available to our community members. So we wanted to make that announcement. You'll be hearing more from us if you were a community partner that wrote for this, to be invited to the table to talk about this planning process. So that's very exciting. Does anybody have any thoughts or any comments to share about this? Questions? Okie dokie. Well, it's great. And this is one of the first strictly like recovery based funding sources that we've had, maybe ever, but in this capacity, at least in a long time. So this is good news for all of us.
Definitely. All right. So that being said, we are officially fundraising. Our link is officially up on our website. I also put it on here if you want to see that. So basically the goal with fundraising is for us to be our own fiscal agent. And so like we said last month, we are officially our own 501c3. So we have nonprofit status. And so our goal is that by January 2021, we are able to be fully autonomous and to be able to operate our own grant contracts. They work off of reimbursement, so we have to be able to front that money and then get reimbursed by the funder. So it's essential that we really get our fundraising going. There's a link that's been posted on Facebook. There's a link that's on our website, and then we will also be posting more targeted fundraising posts probably next week once Red Ribbon Week is done. So definitely be on the lookout for that. please share that on your social medias. And if you have any fundraising ideas or you want to be on our fundraising committee, definitely reach out. We would love that. This is kind of a community effort, and we're really excited to just kind of get our reserves built up, basically, and be able to operate completely on our own.
Yes, and we're hoping to be able to apply for some grant solicitations that should be coming available from the federal level in the spring. And so those grants don't directly operate off of reimbursement, but of course, we'll need some capital to be able to support those projects. So any little bit helps. Danielle, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say that our initial goal is not terribly lofty. It's about $10,000. That'll cover some expenses. The other thing that we really need to get is rental space. So if you know of anybody who is offering to gift rental space or give it to us at a discounted rate, we really need that. We can't apply for a federal grant until we have a physical location, and so it's sort of holding up some of our activities. And I can't even apply for a federal grant. We have to get numbers, and this is the government, so it takes a little while. So we really need an address. So those funds and anybody else who knows of any space that we could use with some meager funds would be a huge help. That would get us rolling toward that federal grant, which operates a little differently than the state grant.
And just to kind of clarify too, I mean, I know there's been a lot of change that's happened, but we're currently operating off of a subcontract until our state contracts pick back up. So our subcontract's a little more limited than our typical established coalitions grant that we operate. And so we are really just looking to kind of get things going until we can be running fully the way that we typically are.
Does anyone have any questions
or thoughts that we haven't thought about, considered?
So I have a question. Are y'all operating out of an office at the moment?
No.
Okay. Because just like off the top of my head, I know a lot of our nonprofits, or not a lot, but some work out of churches. I mean, because y'all aren't talking about like a lot of space. And so if there are churches that have space that they don't utilize, that they would let you use, I mean, I'm sure, I'm thinking of High Praises Church, which is right here behind us, just because that's the one I can see out my window. But my thought would be is, something like that, because it's not like you need your own building, or an actual office. I mean, you really just kind of need a space.
Yeah, what we really need is a place for desks, and then we need some storage space for our supplies. So we have lock boxes, printed materials, some things that can take up some space, but really nothing crazy. I mean, we're not looking for like a warehouse or anything like that. It could easily go in a closet. A really
big closet. Yeah.
Well, and I'll think about it. I'll ask Wendy too. That was just my first thought, because I knew you don't need obviously at some point it would be nice. The other thing with the church, is when we do start meeting again, of course you can always meet here, but if you had like that space, in your own, proximity, that would be the other thing that probably would be helpful. So I'll think about it and let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That would be a huge help.
Since we did introductions, it looks like we've got a few more people. Do you mind letting them introduce themselves? Because some of these people I've not met. I think Jill and Danny and Julia are on.
I'm Julia Pierce from Cherokee Health Systems. Good to be with you guys today.
Thanks, Julia.
Hey, good morning. I'm Danny Lambert with the Tennessee Department of Health. I live in Blount County, and obviously I'm working AWS. I'm connected with the family planning program that has a very big interest in substance abuse, and we want to be more involved out in our communities, and this is my community.
Great. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Jill Cusack with Blount County Juvenile Court.
Hi, Jill.
Hi.
All right.
Okay, so we are currently about to do our Tennessee Together student surveys. This is a survey that is with 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade students across all of our school districts in Blount County. And so we're collecting some updated data on our student population. And so these surveys are on perception of harm, on usage, and
access.
And so we conducted this survey back in 2018, and we're very excited to have another data point to compare this to, because this will be the first time that we have some consecutive data. And also, since it's every 2 grades, it'll be the same students. So we have some validity there, hopefully. And because of COVID, we are extending it. It's not just going to be this fall. The schools can do this anytime this year, and they will have virtual or in-person options so that all students can be accessed for the survey. And so this is great because it gives us a ton of data on our student populations, and we're always surprised when we get this kind of information, because it tells us average age of initiation, or where students might be accessing substances. And so this is a great opportunity, and hopefully we will have some updated data very soon.
Yeah, so like when we did the 2018 survey, one of the things that we learned that was surprising was that our 8th, 10th, and 12th graders told us that if they were accessing alcohol, they were either getting it from parents with permission, or they were buying it from retailers without being carded. And so that's a separate problem for us, as opposed to, you know, they're sneaking it or they're getting it from older peers or whatever. You know, that's a bigger issue and a different problem, as opposed to just, you know, diversion. They're basically getting it with consent from adults. And so that was one of the things we really wanted to take a strong look at this year. You'll notice, you've probably noticed that most of our campaigning this year has been targeted towards parents. And that's not to put blame on parents, but that is to just raise awareness on that subject, as far as, you know, if you're giving your kids permission to drink in your home or to smoke in your home or whatever, of course, you know, what do you think they're going to do outside of your home? So, and then working with our retailers as well. So back in June, we sent updated information to every alcohol and tobacco retailer in Blount County about the new law, the new tobacco law, calendars for age of purchase that they should have on their ID. We started doing compliance checks with our law enforcement again, which that had been on hold for a little bit. And I'm trying to think what else was, just like contact with retailers as far as if they needed additional training or resources, if they were getting dinged for selling to underage, to minors, that they could reach out to us to that. So we still want to follow up with that this year. And that's one of the data points that we're going to be very interested in to see if that's changed. So this is a big survey for us, and it's an important piece of data for our county. Does anyone have any questions about this or thoughts on this?
I may have missed this, but did you already mention what the participation response has been from the school districts?
Maryville City is for sure participating. Alcoa City is for sure participating. And I believe Blount County schools are also participating. We just need to clarify a few things with them. So good participation, I believe, at this point.
All right.
Me. So I did want to say that, and I'm going to let Danielle talk a little more on this in a second, but we've just formed our board. You've probably heard us talking about this for the last few months, but we have every seat filled now with the exception of our co-chair. So our chair is Danielle Woods, and she's on this call. Our secretary is James McMillan. He works through the 4-H program, the Health Rocks program as well, and he wasn't able to be on this call today, but he is typically very involved. Our treasurer is Erin Owen, who you met earlier as well, and then our at-large member is Ashley Krause. And so that is kind of what we're looking for right now. We're looking for a co-chair or someone interested in that position. Danielle, is there anything you want to add to that?
We're fun. Come join us. We're very excited. I think I think it's fun because, I mean, this organization's been around for a while, and Amanda has been around much longer than I have, and she and Carly have done a great job keeping things going in spite of all the transitions and COVID and just all the challenges that 2020 have brought. We're also sort of starting over in a way, and we're really excited to get moving. We had a great retreat just a couple weeks ago and got to go over a bunch of things and get to know each other and come up with ideas about things that we want to do. I'm super excited to see Ashley's t-shirt designs and things like that we're going to be able to sell. And I think just generally our goal is to make this organization a much more known organization and much bigger in the community. I didn't know about it until I joined 7 months ago, and I think Ashley said the same. And I think that's a shame because this community really needs this, especially now. I don't know what numbers that Amanda and Carly have available for how COVID has impacted our community as far as substance issues, but we really want to make this bigger. I have 2 kids of my own who are getting older and becoming a little bit more of a handful, and these are the things that I worry about. So a co-chair means that you help out, you back me up if I can't be there. As all of you know, I am pretty much always there. I make myself really available. We also need your help running these meetings. Carly and Amanda have done a great job running these coalition meetings, but we would like somebody who has time on the 3rd Wednesday of the month at noon to kind of help them out running this meeting and expanding our coalition. And we appreciate everybody who's been here in spite of COVID and in spite of this gray, yucky weather and whatever else gets in the way. But yeah, I guess I just really want this to get bigger. And I'm excited about Aaron and James joining the organization and what we're going to be able to do over the next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and just for clarity, so technically the way that the coalition set up is there should be a designated facilitator for every meeting. I mean, that's pretty standard, I think, with most nonprofits, but our co-chair is supposed to be facilitating these meetings. Now, if you're interested at all in doing that, don't let that scare you away. Carly and I will definitely help you in whatever way you would need. We'll help prep things for you. Like, we'll be as supportive as anyone might need us to be in that. So don't let that be scary, but that is kind of one of the bigger responsibilities for a co-chair. So if you're interested in that, please let us know.
All right. Does anyone have any announcements from their own agencies that they'd like to share with us today?
A quiet bunch.
I have a question, if that helps, and it's sort of directed at Jill since she's here from juvenile court. I'm on the juvenile court's foster care review board, and obviously we haven't met in a very long time. I just wondered if there was any plans for that, if you've been getting, what you guys have seen with your juvenile cases in light of COVID and just the inability for us to get in front of them like it has been this year.
I'm probably not the one to answer that because I was actually supposed to start working in one of the boards when all of this hit. So I hadn't actually started working my board. The last I heard from Judge Foster is that she was going to wait till the new year. But that's the last that I've heard. As far as DCS cases, I actually do the delinquency and unruly side. So I couldn't really tell you about the DCS numbers. I'm sorry.
Anybody else?
I think Ashley has an announcement. Can Ashley make her announcement?
So for the past 2 years, I've been serving as the Tennessee Recovery Navigator, but I have recently accepted a position with MDC as the Region 2 Lifeline Director starting on the 9th of November. So I'll still be working in the recovery field, just not in the hospitals.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have an announcement. It doesn't have anything to do with the coalition, but it's raining outside, and if you're hungry and you need some soup to warm you up, we're having a dine out day at the soup kitchen today. So anything you go and get at the soup kitchen, we get a percentage at United Way today, and it's the perfect day for soup.
It is the perfect day for soup. Yeah, definitely go get your soup at the soup kitchen.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one. So yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, and Angeli just reminded us about the Safe Halloween drive-through event on Saturday at the sheriff's office from 4 to 6.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, that sounds good. And we're just kind of some of the pauses.
Well, thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, we're just reading the group chat. We appreciate everyone that's joining, that's kind of dropping in from different unexpected areas, and we really love it when we can bring in people that offer different perspectives and different reasons for wanting to join the group. So we appreciate all of you, and for those of you who have been with us from the beginning.
Yes,
for the long haul. All right, I guess we're wrapping up then, and this was a short one today, but if you guys need anything, please let us know. We are going to be sending out things in your newsletter, so if you aren't getting the email blast, please let us know. Please check your spam, because we've had some problems with that as well. But like I said, my biggest ask right now, outside of any fundraising that you might want to contribute, would be taking a look at our digital media and sharing that and getting that pushed out into our community.
Our social media accounts should just be Aware Blount on Facebook and Instagram. So if you can't find those, just let me know and I can send you a link to that as well.
Yep, we will do that.
I would also say if you have Google Mail, check your promotions tab, because that's where all of my emails from Carly show up. I don't know why. I try to fix it, but
wow.
I think you're a promotion, Carly.
I know. I think it's because it's a mass email every time, and I think there's just no way to fix it, because I've tried. Trust me.
It's fine. I always know to look there. So.
Well, thank you, honestly, because I think a lot of people kind of miss them because they don't go directly to your main inbox. So hopefully we'll be able to fix that at some point. But
as we get under contract again. Yeah.
But for now, yes, please check your spams or your promotion tabs, like Lisa just said.
Okie dokie.
All right.
We are going to head
also on the social media, make sure that you follow the page, because if you don't, you tend to miss a lot of the things that you post recently. That was one of the problems I was having. I didn't realize that I wasn't following the page. So even if you like it, make sure you follow too. That way they come up on your news feed.
Yeah, if you can like it, just like what she said, it'll usually pull up information. And we do have a lot of content that's going out this week, so I do realize that it's easy to miss stuff. But even if you can think of it, if you can go to our page, to our social media page, and take a look at what we've posted, that would be a huge help too, because I know that when we're posting multiple things a day, it doesn't always hit. So
the algorithm.
And not to harp on fundraising, but I am harping on fundraising. If you have any ideas, we'd love to hear them. And we kind of just touched on it, but Ashley has her own, like, it's not just apparel. What would you call it, Ashley?
Crafts. I mean, pretty much anything that has to do with vinyl or sublimation. I do shirts, woodwork, signs, just about any of it.
Any kind of print.
So we're gonna have an apparel or stuff section of our website, and we're gonna start making those available and getting them out when we can, when Ashley can, I guess, and supporting her in that in the near future. So when we start getting t-shirts available and face masks and whatever else is out there, if you want to support us by buying those things, that's great, and then people will see it. I wore my t-shirt that Ashley made a couple weeks ago for Overdose Day. I wore that out last night and walked around with it, and take a picture of yourself wearing it, put it on social media. All that stuff really helps.
Definitely. All right. Well, I guess that's it. You guys have a good day, and safe Halloween, and we will hopefully be seeing you all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.